Cricket is more than a sport in Pakistan, it is a religion, a heartbeat that unites millions and sparks endless conversations. Every shot, every dismissal, and every comment from a player is dissected with passion. In this emotionally charged environment, Babar Azam stands as the poster boy of Pakistan cricket, a captain, a run machine, and a symbol of stability. Yet recently, young batter Mohammad Haris stirred controversy by criticizing Babar's T20 strike rate, suggesting that Pakistan's premier batsman must play faster to adapt to modern demands. His comments set off a storm across the cricketing fraternity. But was this a brave truth-telling or an immature attack on a legend? To understand the weight of this controversy, one must examine both the remarks themselves and the standing of the person making them. Haris's words did not come from a place of authority built on performance, but rather from a player who has failed to cement his place in the national side. And therein lies the problem. Haris's claim, a call for speed in T20 cricket. In an interview that quickly went viral, Mohammad Haris stated that Babar Azam needs to improve his strike rate in T20 cricket. He argued that in the shortest format, quick scoring is essential, and that Pakistan should look toward giving younger players opportunities to reshape the batting template. On the surface, his observation is not entirely out of touch with T20 trends. Modern cricket demands explosive batting, and strike rates are often used as the defining metric of success. Teams like England and India have demonstrated the value of aggressive batting lineups that can push scores beyond 200 consistently. Yet, context matters. While Haris was right that the T20 game has evolved, his critique of Babar Azam ignored the unique role Babar plays in Pakistan's setup. Unlike franchises that field deep batting lineups filled with big hitters, Pakistan often relies on Babar and Mohammad Rizwan to provide stability. Their consistent partnerships at the top of the order have anchored Pakistan to numerous victories, particularly when middle order collapses became routine. Haris's statement, stripped of nuance, painted Babar as a liability rather than the backbone he has so often been. The backlash from Pakistan's cricketing greats. The cricketing world did not take Haris's comments lightly. Former players reacted with strong condemnation, defending Babar and rebuking Haris for his outburst. Basit Ali, the former batsman, went as far as saying that Haris should be beaten with a stick for daring to speak about Babar in such terms. His words reflected both anger at the perceived disrespect and disbelief that a struggling cricketer like Haris could question the country's most reliable batsman. Kamran Akmal, himself a seasoned wicket-keeper batsman, took a more measured approach but nonetheless criticized Haris heavily. He stressed that Haris needed proper media training and guidance from the Pakistan Cricket Board, pointing out that young cricketers must learn to respect seniors and avoid unnecessary controversies. Tanveer Ahmed, a former fast bowler, also stepped in, advising Haris to first establish himself as a cricketer before making remarks about someone of Babar's stature. "First build your own value," he said, encapsulating what many fans and experts felt, that Haris had not earned the right to make such sweeping judgments. This collective backlash was not just about defending Babar Azam, it was a reminder of the cultural and professional expectations placed on young players in Pakistan cricket. Respect for seniors is deeply ingrained, and public criticism of an established icon is considered a breach of that tradition. Haris's career, a catalog of failures. To truly grasp why Haris's comments drew such ire, one must examine his own career. Mohammad Haris burst onto the scene with a reputation as a fearless striker of the ball. Fans were excited at the prospect of a youngster who could finally bring explosive batting to Pakistan's often conservative approach. Yet his performances failed to match the hype. Haris has struggled at every level where expectations were placed upon him. In international cricket, he has failed to establish consistency, often dismissed cheaply while attempting rash shots. His domestic career, too, has been marked by flashes of brilliance overshadowed by long stretches of mediocrity. In leagues like the Pakistan Super League, where foreign and local players showcase their talent, Haris has failed to live up to the billing, frequently warming the bench or delivering below-par performances when given opportunities. The truth is stark. Haris has not justified his place as a long-term prospect. His averages are poor, his temperament questionable, and his inability to adapt has left him on the fringes of selection. For such a player to critique Babar Azam, a batsman who has carried Pakistan's batting for years, comes across as not just bold, but arrogant. Babar Azam's legacy, beyond strike rates. While Haris points to strike rate, one cannot reduce Babar Azam's impact to a single statistic. Across formats, Babar has been Pakistan's most dependable performer, ranked among the world's elite, alongside players like Virat Kohli and Steve Smith. His technique, temperament, and consistency have earned him accolades globally. In T20 cricket, while it is true that Babar's strike rate may not match the likes of Jos Buttler or Suryakumar Yadav, his role has been different. Pakistan has often lacked batting depth, and Babar's steady accumulation of runs has been the glue holding innings together. Without him, collapses have been frequent and disastrous. His partnerships with Mohammad Rizwan at the top have been match-winning, setting platforms that middle-order hitters often fail to capitalize on. Moreover, Babar's contribution extends beyond numbers. He is a leader, a figure of calm in chaotic matches, and a player opponents respect. To dismiss him as inadequate because of strike rate is to ignore the broader context of Pakistan's team structure and the immense pressure he shoulders. Where Haris went wrong. It is important to recognize that criticism is not inherently wrong. Cricket, like any sport, evolves, and players must adapt. Strike rate is a legitimate topic of debate. However, the messenger matters as much as the message. For Mohammad Haris, a player with a string of failures and no established career, to publicly criticize Babar Azam was irresponsible. Haris's remarks came across less as constructive feedback and more as an attempt to stay relevant in the media spotlight. Rather than proving himself on the field, he chose to attack a player who has already achieved far more than he can currently dream of. This not only displayed poor judgment, but also undermined the spirit of respect that should define relations between juniors and seniors in the team. Additionally, Haris's timing was unfortunate. Pakistan cricket is in a transitional phase, with young players trying to cement their places. Public divisions and controversies only serve to destabilize the team environment. By voicing his critique so openly, Haris did not just target Babar, he potentially disrupted the unity that Pakistan desperately needs. A lesson for young cricketers. The episode serves as a cautionary tale for emerging players. Success in cricket is not only about talent, but also about discipline, humility, and the ability to navigate the pressures of fame. Words spoken off the field can be as impactful as performances on it. Mohammad Haris has now branded himself as a player who talks more than he delivers. That reputation will be difficult to shake unless he drastically improves his game. Instead of critiquing seniors, he should focus on fitness, form, and learning from those who have achieved greatness. Only then will he earn the credibility to voice opinions that carry weight. A misstep that overshadows potential. The controversy over Babar Azam's strike rate has highlighted two truths. First, the debate over strike rates is valid and reflective of modern T20 cricket's demands. Second, and more importantly, not everyone is in a position to make that argument. Babar Azam, for all the criticism, remains Pakistan's greatest batting asset, a player who has consistently delivered when others faltered. Mohammad Haris, meanwhile, has failed to justify his place, let alone critique someone of Babar's caliber. His comments were less about cricketing insight and more about misplaced bravado. In the end, Haris's remarks have done more damage to his own reputation than to Babar's. While Babar will continue to be celebrated as a champion, Haris must now work doubly hard to repair his image, not by talking, but by performing. What do you think? Did Haris overstep his boundaries, or do you believe young players should be free to challenge seniors openly? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. See you next time.